The Galactic Council chamber stretched across 3 kilometers of polished obsidian floor, its ceiling lost in artificial stars. Representatives from 400 species sat in their designated sectors, their forms ranging from crystalline entities to gaseous clouds contained in force fields. At the far end, on the lowest tier, a deliberate insult, sat the human delegation. Mia. Chen adjusted her translator earpiece and watched the proceedings with the patience her species had cultivated over 2 centuries of diplomatic silence. Beside her, Ken Morrison reviewed data on his tablet, his jaw tight but his expression carefully neutral. The matter of the Terran petition is, once again, postponed, announced High Counselor Vexithan, his 3 heads speaking in perfect unison. A ripple of chittering laughter spread through the assembly. Surely the primitives understand that more advanced civilizations must be heard first. Mia's fingers tightened on her armrest. This was the 47th time Earth's request for trade route access had been denied. The 47th time they'd been called primitives, despite humanity's technological achievements. The 47th time they'd been treated as the galaxy's joke. Another century of waiting won't hurt them, added Counselor Rixapola, her serpentine form coiling with amusement. After all, what could a species barely out of their gravity well possibly offer the galaxy? Ken leaned toward Mia, whispering, "The shipments from the colonies are ready. Just say the word." She shook her head minutely. Not yet. Earth had stayed silent for so long, enduring insults, watching as their ships were harassed, their colonists denied basic services at galactic stations. The United Earth government had chosen patience, chosen to prove themselves worthy through actions rather than words. But today felt different. Furthermore, Vexithan continued, his voice dripping with condescension, we have received reports that human vessels have been trading with the frontier worlds without proper authorization. This council moves to impose sanctions. That's enough. Mia's voice cut through the chamber like a blade. The silence that followed was absolute. In 200 years, no human delegate had ever interrupted a council session. Vexithan's 3 heads swiveled toward her. The Terran delegation will remain silent until— No. Mia stood and Ken rose beside her. Earth has remained silent for 2 centuries. We've listened to your insults, endured your contempt, and followed every arbitrary rule you've placed before us. We stayed quiet when you denied us trade routes while granting them to species who achieved spaceflight last decade. We stayed calm when you refused to sell us medical technology, letting our colonists die from diseases you could cure with a single injection. We even stayed diplomatic when your patrol ships fired on our unarmed exploration vessels. The chamber erupted in outraged clicks, whistles, and roars. Counselor Rixpola's hood flared. How dare you, but insulting us while threatening sanctions for the crime of helping impoverished worlds you've abandoned? Mia's voice rose, carrying across the vast space. That's where silence ends. Ken activated his tablet and holographic displays materialized throughout the chamber. Star charts, trade routes, resource data, all marked with human activity. While you've been laughing at us, Ken said, his voice steady, humanity has been busy. Those frontier worlds you mentioned, we've established trade with 63 of them. The ones you deemed economically unviable and left to starve. We've provided them with food synthesis technology, medical supplies, and defensive systems. More data flooded the displays. Vexithan's heads bent together in urgent consultation. The asteroid mining operations in the Kepler sector that mysteriously became profitable again. Mia continued. Human engineers. The mysterious disappearance of the Scorvex plague that was devastating the rim worlds. Human medical teams. That new faster-than-light communication network that's been making galactic coordination actually efficient. Human innovation. Impossible, Rixpola hissed. Your technology is primitive, your science rudimentary. You never bothered to actually look, did you? Ken's smile was cold. You were too busy being superior. While you've been resting on ancient achievements, humanity has been innovating. We've had to. You gave us no choice. Mia walked down from the lowest tier, ascending toward the council's platform. No delegate had ever done this. Guards moved to intercept, but Vexithan waved them back, his eyes fixed on the human woman approaching. Here's what's going to happen, Mia said, her voice carrying the weight of 200 years of patience ending. Earth is formally withdrawing from petition for council membership. We don't need your permission anymore. The Frontier Alliance, 63 worlds and counting, has invited us to join their coalition. Together, we represent a significant economic and military force. She stopped at the base of the council platform, looking up at beings who'd considered themselves her betters. You can impose your sanctions. You can continue your insults. But know this: every world you've overlooked, every species you've deemed unworthy, every civilization you've left to struggle alone, they're all watching this moment. And they're all talking to us. Ken displayed the final hologram, a map of the galaxy with hundreds of points lighting up in blue. Human activity, human aid, human partnerships, the network Earth had quietly built while the Council had been busy mocking them. Humanity has learned something you forgot, Mia said softly, her words somehow carrying through the silent chamber. Power isn't given by councils or inherited from ancient empires. It's built through action, earned through trust, and sustained by actually giving a damn about others. She turned her back on the council, another unprecedented insult, and began walking toward the exit. Ken fell into step beside her. The next time you want to speak with Earth, Mia called over her shoulder, you'll need to go through proper diplomatic channels. We'll be too busy helping people to waste time here. As the chamber doors closed behind them, chaos erupted in the council. But Mia and Ken walked calmly toward their ship, where messages were already flooding in from dozens of worlds requesting Earth's assistance. The age of human silence had ended, and the galaxy would never be the same.